What the heck is going on, guys? How's everybody? Today we are going to be talking about things that you should be doing passively, either daily or weekly when you have free time, things that are going to progress your account that are super important. Before we get into it quick, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But first, so let's talk about this exploration guide. So you want to make sure you're sending out a squad at least once a day. It takes 6 hours. So if you send one out like once in the morning when you wake up, you log in quick, send it out. Hopefully you can check it before you go to bed, and then you can send out another squad. So hopefully you can get this twice a day. But super quick, I'm going to talk about what you should be farming in each zone. So this 4-leaf clover is going to be the one you want to farm from Rudlin, as it drops from all the other stuff. It doesn't have its own farming spot. And this is very important for costume crafting as well as master tier promotion. So you're going to want to have a good stockpile of those. Next, for Tesca is the cobalt mineral. So this one you need a lot for professions and alchemy 6, I think it is. But you're going to need a lot of these. So they are super important. So you want to make sure you're sending your guys out for those all the time. And they're hard to farm. And then in AO content, you're going to want to make sure you're farming this eternal leaf. As again, they don't have their own farming spot. They drop from, I think, the camellia bud, saffron, and sage. So yeah, you want to make sure you're sending your guys out for Eternal Leaf. I will say this one you don't need quite as much, but for Master Tier promotion, it's going to be kind of important as well. And then in Florence here, you're going to want to make sure you send your guys out for Fluorite Mineral. Periodic ore is also a good option here. However, it is you are able to farm it a little bit.
It's got one spot on the whole map.
Yeah. And it's not like a great spot, but you can farm it. As well as it drops from these three, the zinc, ruby, and aquamarine, where fluorite only drops from mithril and gold. So yeah, you want to make sure you get a good chunk of fluorite. And then in Ruggermatang here, so the two you're going to want to go for are titanium mineral and obsidian. Now, obsidian is a little bit easier to get because they give it to you as a reward for the some of the mining events. So if you manage to get top 15 in those events, they give you a decent amount from there. So I think you want to try to focus on the titanium mineral first. But that is enough for Exploration Squad. Let's get into the other couple of things you need to check daily. First, we're going to look at the exchange shop. So the exchange shop is another thing that you can potentially check twice a day. It does reset every 8 hours, so hopefully you can get on, check in the morning, and then check before you go to bed when you're logging on for your dailies or what have you. You want to make sure that you're exchanging all your 1- and 2-star pieces for Breath of Life. This is going to be one of the main ways that you acquire Breath of Life for your account. So that is super important. As well as you're going to want to take some of your 3 stars and exchange them for Breath of Life. So the nice thing about 3 stars is it's a 1-to-1 ratio. However, there is going to be quite a few 3 stars you are going to want to build. So you want to make sure you save enough pieces of the ones you do want to build. In order to skill them up and things like that. Awaken, I think you still need it once.
No.
Oh, none at all? Okay, so
all.
just skill ups. So you don't need too many, but you want to make sure you are saving enough of that. And then you can pretty much go ham on these Breath of Life here. And then the 4-star pieces, you want to make sure you're keeping an eye out for any 5-star piece that you need. So if there's a monster that you're really trying to pull that you haven't been able to get from summons, you can get it from pieces here. Or if there's a monster that you're trying to second awaken, you can get those pieces from here as well. I personally do not recommend going for skill ups with monster pieces. I feel that the value is the amount of monster pieces they want is too high just for a skill up. You're better to just wait your next week to buy your Devilmon, in my opinion. But I mean, if you have a lot of 4 stars, then I mean, it's your choice. But trust me, they go fast. As well as the 5-star pieces. So the main guys you're going to want to exchange here is going to be Galleon, Kumar, and the Wind Cobalt Bomber. So those guys you're going to be able to farm every week free. You're going to be able to get 5 pieces from the various shops. So those are going to be your main exchange pieces, as well as maybe a select few monsters you might decide you don't want to build. But I recommend being careful on that because you never know when buffs and nerfs are going to happen. So potentially you might end up wanting that character. So I don't really recommend exchanging anyone other than Kumar, Cobalt Bomber, and Galleon. But again, that is your choice. As well, an honorable mention here, so someone did the math and they reset this. It took them about 5,000 crystals to get, they were going for Argon, but hypothetically any Nat 5 you're going for. So maybe you want to do that if there's, let's say you're really close to Awaken 15 and you need like 5 pieces. Maybe this refresh might be worth it for you. and your crystals. But again, that's a decision you're going to want to make for your account. But let's get into the next daily thing that we want to check. So this is something you actually want to be checking as frequently as you can. You want to be checking things that sell expensive frequently, because you never know when someone's trying to pass a cheap one by. So I like to check sky stones a lot, because you can kind of like snipe people trying to pass off cheap ones, as well as you can just watch the overall trends in the market, just kind of how like a stock market is. So you can watch like what is becoming more valuable at certain times, depending on what events are running, or as soon as a new raid drops, sky stones go through the roof in pricing, because everyone wants to take up that new gear. So you kind of just want to keep an eye on this daily and keep an eye on the prices, as well as maybe there's some things you want to like look for, like as far as consumables or crafting material goes. So this is a good way to be checking every day for that, as well as you want to try to be selling a lot of your items that you don't use. So you want to be putting up all your gear and stuff that is has the question mark that you don't need. It's probably going to take you forever to sell it, but you might as well just keep posting it anyway, because it's kind of a crapshoot. If we look at the weapons here, we can see, so there's like this is a bad example, but see how there's two stocks here? So this could be two different people, and let's say this one was the lowest price, and they buy it. There's a chance it's just yours that they buy. So you want to just kind of keep posting, because every once in a while they do sell. So yeah, be sure you're checking this out and using it to your advantage for your account. But let's get into the next daily thing. So the last kind of daily thing here I want to talk about is, I know we all know this already, but you want to make sure you're doing your repeat requests every single day. I do not recommend allowing these to stack up, because then you're going to miss out on a lot of innate fill-ups, because I believe you get 20 a day. So you want to make sure you're at least keeping this below 20, so like say 76 or something like that, so that you can at least get your daily fill, as well as you want to make sure you're constantly pushing these things as far as you can go. So potentially doing some extra runs of the raid you're on, or working towards some Trial of Fire or Trial of Ascension stuff. So you want to make sure you're constantly checking in on this and making sure you're constantly pushing as far as you can go in that. But let's get into the last few things that you want to just keep an eye on weekly/monthly. First, we're going to look at the book. So there's lots of cool things in here in this book, but number one thing I want to talk about is going to be the collection challenge. So this seems to happen about a month long. So we get a new one every month, it seems. This one, the rewards were really good. This one's a lot of scrolls. This one's a lot of gold and Breath of Life. Of course, the Devilmon. So you want to make sure you're checking in on this frequently and making sure you have it all completed, of course, monthly. So these are really good rewards. I definitely want to recommend that you do that, as well as you want to passively be completing your creature book. I'm not great, but they do give you some pretty good rewards as far as crystals, gold, and Breath of Life. And then we also have here the collection book, which this is going to be from your farming of materials and things like that. So these give you some really awesome rewards as well. Obviously, the better the thing, the more rewards you get. So the blues are 60, these are 180 gems. So yeah, you want to make sure you're getting those done. Those are really awesome rewards. And then your monster book, you want to make sure that you're passively filling this out. So this can be done through running your repeat requests, as well as you can get a lot of unknown scrolls from Path of Adventure, the Path of Training. Sorry, it screws me up because I call it the same thing. But yeah, that gives you a lot of scrolls as well. So I've personally been farming that a lot lately, just for gold scrolls and maybe Argon pieces. It's a dream. Thousands of runs, no Argon pieces. But yeah, so those unknown scrolls are really going to help you fill out this, which is going to give you innate power based on the element that you are running. So you want to make sure you are doing that as well. So the other thing you want to make sure you're working on passively is, first, you want to make sure you're getting as high as possible in Trial of Ascension. If you haven't beaten a certain floor, just maybe try to auto it once every day and see what happens. Try with different teams, see what happens. I know that floor 200 of hard for me was really hard for like months, and then all of a sudden one day I just like basically almost autoed it. So make sure you're constantly trying to push in this, as well as spires. So this is going to be a little bit of a slower grind, but you want to make sure at least weekly, or at the very least monthly, you're trying to push as high as you can in some of these dungeons. So that means maybe putting your best runes on all your fire guys or your water guys, etc., and seeing how far you can get, or just pushing in spires. If you are stuck on spires, a friendly reminder that there is the challenges for every single floor. So you want to make sure you're nice and caught up on all your challenges as well, because that gives you a lot of innate rewards and power from being able to upgrade this stuff. So make sure you are doing that. And then we're going to get into the last thing here, the guard journal. All right, so number one, I'm sure most of you guys have this complete already, but you want to make sure that you finish every one of these dungeons and get all these free monsters. There's some really good ones in here, as well as honorable mention for Mimic. He gives you a lot of gold, so make sure you have him done. If you don't, he is worth it, even though the monster is actually crap. But yeah, and they're constantly adding new ones to this. So maybe if you're a casual player and you don't keep up quite as much on the content, although I know you'd be watching this if you're a casual player, but you want to make sure that you're checking this semi-frequently as well, because they add new monsters in here. So these two are actually new recently. And then next year's arena dungeon, so you want to make sure that you have completed all of these. I also believe we're going to be getting a new one soon for the Katana, so that'll be awesome. So there's a lot of crystals in here and a lot of rainbow mons, so you want to make sure you're done all of that, as well as your adventure record. You want to make sure that you are on chapter 16 and done. A lot of really awesome rewards in here as well. So you want to make sure you get all of that. But with all that being said, I hope you guys were able to learn something today. Kind of just a little boringer video today. We want to do a video on Galagos runes, but I think we're going to wait till next week. We want to have one more stab at her. I think I screwed up this week. So we did do it a live stream. So if you do want to check that out, I did live stream it. I'll leave the link to that live stream below if you do want to see me struggling. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join our Discord, and we will catch you guys in the next one.